Welcome to Through the Bible, episode 41, Leviticus 25 through the end of the chapter 27. Leviticus 25 begins with the discussion on the Sabbath rest for the land. So every 7 years, the land is going to be given a rest. In addition to that, 7 times 7, 49 on the 50th year, we're going to see Jubilee take place. Not only is the land going to rest, but there's going to be some other significant things that take place. For example, property returns back to the clan from which it came. It's kind of an economic reset, kind of a wealth reset, so that if you've sold land during the time before that 50th year, then you actually get it back, and that keeps all the tribes in order, and it keeps people from gaining too much power over the economic system. Now, there is things that protect the people that are purchasing. It's not like they're buying full price and then losing everything. The land is figured based on how much time it is until it's reclaimed again. So the price is based on how much time, how much use they get. So it's really more like a lease when people buy the land. They're not actually purchasing the land, they're leasing the land until the year of Jubilee. They're blessed. God tells them that they're going to be blessed by keeping the statutes and the ordinances of God. He talks about aliens and temporary residents in God's land and puts protection over them. Again, there's the right of redemption if they're forced to sell the land, and it's returned free and clear on Jubilee. They're ordered to help those who cannot help themselves. The people can become indentured servants, often referred to as slaves in the Bible, but we would call them indentured servants or hired servants. They're to be treated like hired servants today until Jubilee, at which time they have to be set free. So if someone gets in so much debt, they get into trouble financially, they can't do anything other than to hire themselves out to a fellow Israelite, then that Israelite keeps them just until Jubilee, and then they're set free. In chapter 26, we see that God reminds them that there's to be no idols, that they are to revere the sanctuary, and he says, if you obey, then I will send rain at the right time. The harvest will be plenty. You will have strength, protection. You will be fruitful and multiply, which was his command all the way back in Genesis, and again under Adam and Eve, and then again under Noah and so forth. No longer slaves. You're going to be freed people. But if you don't obey, then there will be terror, and there will be wasting disease and fever and eye problems and bad harvests, and the enemies will be victorious over you, and you will become slaves again. That plague, 7 times your sin will come against you. Wild animals, war. You will eat without satisfaction. There will be devastation. And the Lord will do things in a way that will require the land to get the rest that you refuse to give it on those Sabbaths, those 7-year Sabbaths, and on the year of Jubilee. And so if the land is not given that rest that God has commanded, then he will make up for it by basically, and we're going to see this as we go through history, that God will send them into slavery to repay for those years, and then the land will rest, then they'll be released from slavery, and they'll get a chance to do it again. And we see that throughout the history. Now, this part right here, if you obey, it will rain at the right time. This is going to fit in with Deuteronomy 8:18, which says, I am the Lord who gives you power to get wealth. So we see that God provides through his system of harvest time, of seed time and harvest, and that he blesses our businesses, he blesses our fields, he blesses whatever. He provides the environment that helps us be prosperous when we follow his statutes and his ordinances. In chapter 27, there's a provision for the funding of the sanctuary. We see that there's a tax assessment that's given over each person that helps to pay that. There's a property tax based on land, and all those things we see today. Now, oftentimes they're abused today, but these are the kind of the settings from which we get a lot of these ideas. We see that once something is set apart for God, it is always set apart for God. You can't consecrate something and then take it back, so to speak. And then we see the tithe, which is the command that God gave Moses on Mount Sinai, and that takes us through the book of Leviticus. Next time we're going to begin in the book of Luke. God bless you. Have a great day.